I got all this syrup mixed, and I think there was in excess of 500 liters of syrup in there. And yeah, that's past tense because I left it unattended for, I don't know, 5-10 minutes. And this fitting broke. And the pumped the whole tank out on the ground. That's nearly $600 worth of syrup gone on the ground. What in the world to do now? Running out of days. So I was crying the blues to my mentor about my syrup leak. And I didn't know what to do, and I didn't know, what I was going to do for syrup and everything. And he says, I have a big tank of syrup here I don't need, so come on over. And so we've pumped on 1,000 liters into my tank, and I got to have a nice visit with this young lady who you know. And it's a solid 2-hour drive though, and so it's a solid 2-hour drive home, and you can see it's getting to be evening. It's not shorts weather.
Nowhere near.
We're talking about crazy people in shorts in the bee yard, and I don't know specifically who we're talking about, but Anyway, it's been quite an afternoon. Pumping all my syrup out into the yard, and then getting the tank on the other trailer. I'm hoping the bees are at home cleaning up the syrup off the black trailer. You'll get some value out of it anyway. Anyway, should pack up and go home, I think. What do you think? Boss is out in the field, so
Yeah.
he's not even here to say
He's
hi.
driving around in circles.
Driving around in circles. Well, that's the definition of a farmer, a man out standing in his field. That's the definition of a farmer. A beekeeper is someone who puts things on top of other things. That's a beekeeper. So anyway, I'm going to go home and have a great day. Hope you're having a better day than I did. It turned out good because I get to visit with my friends. Take care. Have fun. It's Thursday, October 19th, 2023. Yesterday did not go the way I had planned, and it was a rather long day, but I got home from my syrup run, and this is said syrup right here. So I decided to fill that thing right up. Might as well. I'm driving a long way to get it, so I thought might as well fill it up, and then I can fill all my pails, and what they don't use over the next however long they're able to feed, then I can maybe put that back in the tank. I know, like, holding syrup over the winter is difficult. It doesn't keep very well. This has something going for it that it's thick syrup. So thick syrup does last longer, but it won't last that long until spring. But I do know that if you add products like Honeybee Healthy or Pro Health, which is a Man Lake's version of that kind of a product, then it will last till spring or longer. I've had syrup, actually I have a small container of syrup here for years, and it's still fine. So anyway, I'm here to fix my syrup tank problem, and then I'm going to fill up these pails. And in the meantime, I'm blessed with some help today, and I'm very, 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 very thankful for some assistance today. So we're going to turn this around, and before my helper scurries away and doesn't want to be shown on camera, she's good. So you're gonna have to wave at some point. I don't. So you recognize Carrie. Carrie came over today to help with doing some mite treatments with oxalic acid vapor. She brought the new instant vaps that Ian got this year. They're pretty impressed with them. She's burning through batteries, and she's just going to change the battery again. So hopefully we've got enough battery power to finish off. She's nearly done this yard. And she worked here while I went to town and got parts for my syrup mixer. And then when she's done that, we'll go to the out yard and treat those hives there. So that really puts me ahead. Carrie's also taking a few samples for mite testing. so that we can see how well the Apivar worked. There's been a lot of questions about that product lately, and not the product specifically, but resistance to the Amitraz. So anyway, I'm going to get to fixing up this plumbing thing, and I've got something a little tiny bit different here to put it together, which I think is certainly not going to be any worse, and hopefully it'll be a bit better. Okay, so the gist of the change here, the failure was the, I think it's ABS. I don't even know. What's the gray pipe? The gray pipe anyway. It was on this end of this T, and it broke there. I think I have to get that side out of it. So what I did, I took my credit card to town. And I got replacements. I had planned to simply buy a replacement nipple for the end, for the one that broke. And then I thought, you know what? I'm going to replace both this end and this end. Come on. So then that valve goes there. And then I thought to myself, if you're going to replace that with heavier galvanized equipment, why don't you go one step further and put a heavier galvanized T in the system. So the only thing I need to do is use this bushing. This is a PVC bushing in here. And now that's more weight for that system. So it's kind of, you know, a downside in that regard. What do I do with my tape? So job number one is Teflon tape all around. And I should have purchased more Teflon tape today, but I didn't. It's kind of one of those run to town, grab your stuff, run home again. And you know you're gonna forget things. I wanted to get some big hose clamps to support this system as well, which I didn't do. But that's okay. I have to go back to town because I got halfway home and the phone rang. And customer says, "Hey, can you deliver me some honey in town?" I said, "Yeah, I can." And he told me what he wanted, and ironically, what he wanted was sitting on the seat next to me. But I was almost home. So I said, "I'll let you know." Now, I got a nipple fitting. It's called a close. And I don't have one to show you to compare, but a close is just that. You can see the threads on this. A standard nipple will have a short piece of non-threaded pipe, but a close then allows you to thread into here and thread into here, for example. And when they're tight, these two, come on, you don't want to cross thread this. Steel fitting in a PVC. When these are tight, see, that's tightening up way faster than I had anticipated. But it's supposed to get those two as close as possible. That's why it's called a close, right? Put that one in there. Now we have to get this bushing out of there. Who put this on there so tight? Oh yeah, it was me. I was trying to buy this in a galvanized, but I couldn't remember how big this one was. It doesn't matter. it'll be just fine. I don't actually have to run this now because I only wanted to monitor to see what pressure that hose runs at. Now I know I'm not going to crack that galvanized tee with that. These are actually kind of sharp. Be very careful gripping that. That's going to have to tighten up a bit. Oh, of course, the bushing is turning instead of the small broken nipple. Oh, hopefully I can get that bushing tight enough that it'll take over. Because I don't have a wrench big enough to grab that bushing, and I need the pipe wrench to grab the broken nipple. I'm not a plumber, I just play one on YouTube. As you can tell, I'm kind of clumsy with a pipe wrench. Oh, how did that happen? There it goes. Okay, so this is the part of the nipple I was talking about. A close doesn't have this flat, non-threaded piece. All right, this goes back in here. Don't cross-thread it. I love it when the assembly is the wrench. I think that's good. I think this was tight enough. It's not super high pressure, so it's covered in syrup. Everything's covered in syrup. I have to get the hose out of the other trailer to hook up there. Everything, and the hose is covered in syrup too. This is the Honda difference right here.
An on-off switch?
Well, that too, but this right here. You see how hard that was to pull? It wasn't a full body, you know. And that should be enough for serving. That should be enough. It's Friday, October the 20th, 2023. Now, I left you with feeding bees yesterday, and so Carrie and I, after we were done in this yard, we went to the out yard. I fed bees while she treated, and I'll tell you, filling these 2.5 gallon pails. Now, I didn't have my pump cranked right up, so it took me a moment to fill the pail, but I couldn't keep up with her. I couldn't stay ahead of her. By the time I was done feeding the 29 colonies that are there, she was kind of waiting on me. So that just is a testament to how fast those instant vaps work. It's as instant as you could imagine in all practicality. So that's great. The bees are treated, and we did some mite washes, and I'll say that I believe I'm seeing some amatraz resistance here, and I don't hold up much hope for these big production colonies for the winter. So put that feather in your cap and hold it until May, and we'll see what comes out of the building and survives until May. But thankfully the outyard bees are looking much better, and I have my increase over in the side. So with the increase and the outyard, I'm sitting at about 130, 125, 130 in there. So that will be a good start to the season. That's not 100% survivorship though. So I could be close to 100 if I have kind of a moderate mortality in the winter. So that's something to work with, and we'll just deal with that in the spring, because now is, the fate is sealed. There's nothing more I can do. I'm trying to get all the feed I can get into them, and that's all I can do. I think we're going to hit one more round of oxalic acid vapor just to mop up. But the mite washes before this round of OAV were not terribly high, even here. So they should be fairly low, but we'll do another round, just as a matter of course. So this morning I packed the last of my comb honey. So I'm really happy to have that little job off my plate. Yielded around 200 trays or so, which is nice. That's usually about what I produce. And every year I think, oh, I'm going to produce more, take it more seriously and produce more. And then in the summer, there's just no time for it. So I just keep doing the same thing. But I'm glad I'm done. Packing that comb honey is always it's a bad time, because I'm trying to get the honey house cleaned up. I'm trying to get things ready for winter, and I got to pack this comb honey. And it's something that I just feel that I can't work at very long. It just kind of, it's psychologically, there's something about it that's extremely frustrating for me. And I think that is just trying to, cut the chunks and put them in the tray and figure out just a constant game of Tetris going on in there. So that's just me though. So there's still a lot of cleanup to do here. And so I'm going to work away at this. Got some things I need to take in for the winter. Got some boxes of comb that need to be put away. This is kind of good timing. I can see the bees are flying, but they're not, I don't think they're too much of a bother. I can't really leave my sea can open for very long if it's a warm day, because they get in there. But if it's not that warm, then it'll be okay. So I think that's all I need to catch up on today. And I'll put this together for you so you can enjoy that in the morning. And thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. And for now, take care and have fun.